What if your investment portfolio could pay your monthly bills? Not in the future, but today, right now, could that make it possible? Now today we're going to be talking about 5 ETFs I would use to build a $500 per month portfolio. Now I know what you're thinking, $500 probably doesn't go as far as maybe $1,000, $2,000, or even $3,000, but we're going to start a little bit simple. We're going to be talking about these 5 ETFs, and these are ones that I would use to build an income portfolio, or just to build a portfolio that could help do this. Now these ETFs are a little bit different, and some of you guys have probably heard me talk about some of them, but we're going to be diving into the ones that I would use to build this portfolio. Let's get to it.
This video is purely educational content. It should not be considered personal finance advice. I'm not a licensed financial advisor, and I don't know your financial situation, risk tolerance, or even investment goals. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results, and always do your own research and consider consulting with a qualified financial professional before making any investment. All right, let's get on to the video.
Hey guys, my name is Steve and I run the Frugal Expat website where we try to help people to save more and invest better. And today we're talking about a $500 portfolio using 5 ETFs that I would use to build a portfolio. Let's get to it. Now this is not just financial advice at all. This is just things that I would use in order to create my portfolio. Now these ETFs may be a little bit different than the ones you may be using. These ETFs could be interchanged with other ETFs. And with creating a portfolio, you need capital. You need to be investing money for your future. And so this is why that it takes us money to make money. So let's get started. Let's just get down to ETF number 1. Our first ETF is going to be VTI, which is the Vanguard Total Market Index Fund ETF. Now this ETF is the stability within this portfolio. I hold a lot of VTI because it makes my portfolio stable. It holds the entire US stock market, so not only just the tech companies, but it holds the large cap, the mid cap, the small cap, and it's got a rock bottom expense ratio of 0.03%, making it very cost effective to hold in my portfolio. Now this ETF is the stabilizer within my portfolio, so if the market does crash, this won't crash as hard. It's also giving you anywhere between a 1 to 1.5% yield, so the yield isn't really there, but it's also giving some exposure to a lot of large caps and some good companies that allow this portfolio to stabilize. I could interchange this with a QQQI, but with a lot of ETFs on this portfolio, they're already tracking the NASDAQ 100, so I don't need as much growth. You could also put an SEHG, a VOO, an SEHB. There are some great markets and great ETFs that you could add in this position. But for me, I'm going to add VTI. I like VTI. I continue to add it, and it continues to grow my portfolio for the long term. So it is a great one that I'm going to use, but the others are probably some you may have been thinking about as well. Let's get to it, and let's dive into our next ETF. Our next ETF is going to be QDVO, which is the Amplify CWP Growth and Income ETF. Now this ETF is a little bit different. It's got some blue chip dividend stocks within it. It's also got some tech companies within it. And so what it does is get some yield from some of those dividends. It also uses cover calls for some of those tech companies that have more high volatility to create some more income. Now it's got a yield that ranges anywhere between that 10 to 11%. It's got a good price appreciation as well, but it's a much newer ETF. It came out in August of 2024, and this is a great one from Amplify. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit something different that doesn't just track an index, but has maybe that 20, 30, 40, maybe even 50 different stocks, and that's actively managed, QDVO could be a great ETF for your portfolio. Now this ETF also has some return of capital, and so you're also getting some of that tax deference with the return of capital, so it's a little bit more tax efficient. But if you're looking for even more tax efficiency, we're going to be hitting our next 3 ETFs that's got a little bit more tax efficiency, but also a little bit more yield and price appreciation. All right, our next ETF is going to be GPIQ, which is the Goldman Sachs Premium Income NASDAQ 100 ETF. This ETF tracks the NASDAQ 100, and with GPIQ, you're getting a portfolio that does some dynamic cover call positions, so it will sell anywhere between 25 to 75% of its portfolio Sometimes it will change where the strike price is, so it could be a little bit more aggressive towards the at the money, or it could be also a little bit more conservative at out of the money cover calls. And so with this one, you're getting exposure to the Nasdaq 100, which is the top 100 companies on the Nasdaq exchange, which are non-financial. And so you're getting some great tech companies like an Nvidia, an Amazon, Tesla. You're also getting some great option premiums. Now with this ETF, you're doing around a 10% yield, but you're also getting some good price appreciation with this. Now it's going to have some good growth with it because it's not capping the full upside of it, but you're also getting a pretty conservative yield out of it. Now the expense ratio is sitting at around a 0.29%, so it costs about $29 for every $10,000 invested. This is probably the second cheapest on this list, and it is a great ETF that you could buy and hold into your portfolio. Now, if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and I am creating some coaching sessions where I can help you strategize and create your own portfolio. I'm doing some one-on-ones, and so I'm going to leave a link of that in my description and pinned comment. So if you want to book a 1-hour session with me, I'll have some questions where that will get sent to you, and we will build a portfolio that helps you guys out and achieve the goals you want. So if you want to join that and you want to do that, make sure to look at the link down in the description in the pinned comments. And we are also creating a great community, so I'll leave a link to that as well. So a free community where we can join and kind of chat about different things. All right, let's get back to the video. Now, ETF number 4 is going to be SPYI, which is the NEOS S&P 500 high income ETF. Now this ETF does track the S&P 500, and what it does is it sells options on the S&P 500 index. Now it qualifies for 1256 contracts, and so you're going to have 60-40, so 60% long-term capital gains and 40% short-term capital gains on the income coming in. Now it also is going to use some return of capital, so the return of capital percentage is going to be anywhere between that 90 to almost 100%. So any of the other income is going to be at that 1256 contract rate, and so this is going to be very tax efficient. Now GPIQ is just sells 1256 contracts as well, so those are very similar. Now it does track the S&P 500, so it's going to have a little bit less premium than a Nasdaq 100 ETF. So the yield's going to be around 12%, so it's going to be quite stable. It's got about 500 different companies tracking the S&P 500. It has an expense ratio of 0.68%, so it costs $68 for every $10,000 invested. I think the expense ratio is worth it just due to the tax implications. Great fun with NEOS, and it's got a pretty good yield. So this is one that I'm going to add to my portfolio. Our next ETF is going to be QQQI, which is the NEOS Nasdaq 100 High Income ETF. This ETF does track the Nasdaq 100 like a GPIQ or a QQQ. With this ETF, it does sell 1256 contracts on the Nasdaq exchange. And so you're going to get some of those good tax implications like an SPYI. You're going to get some ROC, which is anywhere between 90 to 100%. So you're going to get some of your return of capital. Now, return of capital does lower your cost basis, but in the end, it's also deferring taxes down the road. And so it's very tax efficient within a taxable account. Now, this one does have a yield of around 14% and ranges between that 13 to 15% rate. It's also got an expense ratio of 0.68%, meaning it costs $68 for every $10,000 invested. Now, I already own QQQI in my portfolio. I own VTI in my portfolio, but these other ones are some other ones that I could add into creating an income portfolio. Now, the way I would break down this income portfolio to generate close to $500 a month is I'm going to have QQQI making up about 35% of the portfolio, SPYI making up about 30% of the portfolio, GPIQ doing about 15%, QDVO doing about 10%, and VTI doing about 10%. So with QQQI, you're getting the NASDAQ 100 tax efficiency, a pretty good yield of 14%. SPYI, you're getting the S&P 500 tax efficiency, a yield of around 12%. With QDVO, you're getting about that 10 to 11%, GPIQ, that 10 to 11%, and VTI doing about a little bit more stable with the entire market and getting about a 1.3 to 1.5% yield. Now, if we put these all together, you're going to get an average yield of around 11% with VTI kind of dragging everything down, but still quite stable for the portfolio. Now, for us to get about $500 per month with this portfolio, you need about $60,000 invested in order to get that $500. Now, of course, we can move those numbers up in order to have more income per month. Now, $60,000 invested may seem like a lot of money, but you may not have $60,000 today, but what you could do is create your own portfolio. You could continue to add money every single month, every single year, and get it to that point where you're kind of producing more income. And these ETFs aren't like a solid that you have to do. This is what I would do. I like QQQI. I own it. I like VTI. I own it. I also like QQQM because it's a great growth ETF. That's why I could switch it in with VTI. I also like SPYI, QDVO, and GPIQ. So these are ones that I like. Now, let me know in the comments, what is a good portfolio that you may like? What are some ETFs that you may add to this? I like some growth, I like some stability, and I like the income. So I throw those all in together. You could also look at maybe a 3-bucket framework where you can have a broad market VTI and QQQM. You can have a dividend ETFs with like SCHD, DGRO, VYM, and then you can throw in like an income bucket with a QQQI, SPYI, GPIQ, JEPI, JEPQ, QDVO, all of those into one portfolio. Now, these could be more than just 5, but I like the number 5 and I want to start off with this video. Let me know in the comments, what is a framework for your portfolio? Do you add dividend ETFs? Do you add growth ETFs? Is your portfolio just income? Now, I just asked a lot of questions, so hopefully we have some great conversations in the comments. And if you want to check out a great video, I have a video of using 4 NEOS ETFs that creates about $1,000 per month in a portfolio right up here. And I'll see you guys in our next video.